Hey guys, welcome to the video. Today we're going to be talking about the Monarch, which is a collaboration between JK Design and Joseph M. Hansen. I have one right here. It's a lot better than the fucking 51. So, Blade Show 2019 just happened, and I had a fantastic time. I got to go around and see all the different knives. There were a lot of knives. Holy shit, there were a lot of knives. But, specifically, I stopped by Julian's booth to bring him back the Emissary number 8, which I had gotten a few years ago. I've enjoyed the heck out of this knife, and I wanted him to see it again. And when I got there, he had a bunch of Monarchs that I could try. And I did. And I bought one. Son of a bitch. This knife hits a price point of around $1,000, which is a pretty penny, and I definitely wouldn't suggest it for everybody. But if you can afford it, this is absolutely the best knife you can buy, in my opinion. Right now, this is probably my favorite knife. I'm a big fan of channel titanium handle designs, and this one does it perfectly. The handles are nice and chunky in the hands, and they roll very nicely, and they're chamfered properly. They feel great for fanning. It's a fantastic handle design, and it just does such a good job. The blade is S35VN, which is a fantastic blade steel. It doesn't rust easily, and it absolutely holds an edge for a very long time. Now, the actual pivot mechanism is on bearings, and I know that freaks some people out, but I really like it. As a matter of fact, this is probably the best I've ever seen bearings done in a Balisong. So the knife may look like it's kind of heavy, but it's actually really light. It's only 4.6 ounces compared to how bulky the body looks, which is really, really good for flipping. It's right in between a Covenant, which is 5 ounces, and something like an AA, which is only 4.3 ounces. All right, so now I want to get into the pros and cons of this knife and like how it flips. Now, be wary, I'm about to gush over this knife because it's amazing, so buckle the fuck up. So a lot of pros with this knife and almost no cons, which is kind of to be expected, especially if you're gonna spend this much freaking money. It feels amazing in the hand, it's perfectly balanced, it's incredible to flip. It's also very no nonsense being channeled. There are literally only 2 screws that you would even have to start to worry about, and they never become undone. So honestly, the balance of this knife is absolutely perfect. Compared to some of the other knives I've used where I have an adjustment period where I have to figure out, how will this knife do with parabolics? How will this knife do when I'm doing chaplains and stuff like that to make sure it doesn't fly off my finger? I never had a period like that with this knife. It immediately felt natural. Everything I tried to do just worked. It was incredible. The balance of this knife is really, really perfect. Along with the weight being 4.6 ounces, it just kind of does whatever you want it to do. There really, for me at least, was no adjustment period with this knife. It just did what I told it, and I love that. So now let's talk about the most interesting part of this knife. That would be the pinsless design. The pinsless design is unlike anything you've probably seen before. As far as I know, there's only a couple other Balisongs that even exist that have this. It's a really cool design, but a lot of people are concerned that maybe it won't last as long as you'd like it to. And honestly, I understand that. Steel contacting titanium in this way can have really bad wear side effects. Titanium has a tendency to mushroom out when it contacts steel at high velocity over and over again as the steel pushes away at the titanium. You have to really consider that when you're doing a pinsless design. Thankfully, it really seems like JK Design and Joseph Hansen really considered this when they were working on their pinsless design. The pins are done in such a way that they contact the steel perfectly at every angle. Honestly, I have a feeling that this design will last longer than pretty much any other Balisong design, and it removes the need of having any kind of pins in either the blade or the handles. All right, so here are my final thoughts. Should you buy a Monarch? Yes, well, if you can afford it. It is $1,000, so I definitely wouldn't suggest getting it if you can't afford it. Nobody should really be spending $1,000 on a knife anyways, but I digress, I did. My only word of warning here is that the knives that I played with that had a anodization to the titanium seemed to be a little bit mushier than just the raw titanium knives like the one that I ended up getting. But for some reason they did feel a little bit mushier to me, so just be warned and honestly go with the raw titanium or the blackened titanium, which did not have that problem. Well, I think it's pretty obvious that I love this knife. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely check out my last video where I reviewed the Benchmade 51 and all of the stuff that you can do with it. Otherwise, don't subscribe, go away. I really don't want you to watch any of my videos anymore. Please leave. Why are you still watching?